Hey guys, welcome to another INFJ ramble. Today's recording is going to touch on the human connection and some observations that I've made. Well, first of all, I feel like a lot of us are disconnected, and I feel like we are disconnected with ourselves, we're disconnected, with each other, and I feel like, well, one of the things that I've noticed that creates an instant communication with people, as strange as it may sound, is something as simple as a touch. And it's really it's really touchy because we've made it this way. But I've noticed, like, I'm not talking like sexually, like usually when I touch people, it's as simple as touching them on the shoulder or touching them on their arm or even giving them a hug. And I'm not coming from a place of I'm not coming from an animalistic place, like a lot of, not a lot, but I've noticed some men in general, and I don't mean to like make this sound awkward or offend anyone, but I've noticed, especially from men, they have a tendency to touch in a way that is uncomfortable because it's sexual. Sorry. Yeah, so I've noticed, like, with men, they have a tendency to, like, I think you'll understand, like, they'll look at a female not as like a person but as a sex object. Like, they'll give females like sexual looks that are really uncomfortable and quite disturbing, to be honest. And I have also experienced in work situations where, like, guys have touched me on the thigh, and I thought that was highly inappropriate. You don't go around touching people on the thigh. You know what I mean? It's just not appropriate. But when it comes to, like, connecting on higher dimensions or levels of being, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I feel like the human touch is very powerful. So like I said, like just touching someone on the shoulder or touching them on the back or touching them on their arm, I feel like that creates an instantaneous connection if done with the right intentions and the right motives. So I've used this methodology for most of my life, I want to say, and super effective. Like, even like high fives, I've noticed high fives have been very, like, I don't know, it's become more common. Like, hey, give me five, and then, you give each other five, and you create this, like, instant connection. Yeah, so I feel like human touch partnered with a kind tone and also, like, kind words and a kind delivery can, like, work wonders. It's interesting. I have a friend, he is on the mainland, and he said at his workplace, like, strictly no touching, like at most a handshake, like, nice to meet you. But it's very robotic and it's very disconnected from the human nature, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're not allowed to hug, or really, like, that's unheard of in his workplace on the mainland. And I think it's because, like, some people have taken the touching component in the wrong context, and it's just kind of like made it uncomfortable, or has made it uncomfortable for some people. Now we have rules and regulations in place because of it. Yeah, I mean, there's inappropriate touching and there's appropriate touching. Like, if somebody is, like, crying and obviously in a very, like, fragile emotional state, I'm pretty sure, if you hug them, or if you even just kind of, like, held their arm and told them it was going to be okay, that would do wonders, versus just kind of like not even, like, touching at all. And it's interesting because I came across a video on YouTube. I forget who it was by, but they used Oprah as a really good example as, like, a really good communicator. And if you watch her videos, anytime she interacts with her guests, or if she's a guest on someone else's show, a lot of touching goes on, and she touches a lot while she's talking to people, and it creates a much deeper and more intimate connection, you know, and it definitely helps people to put their guards down. So I just think it's interesting that our society has created these rules and regulations that, you know, make touching like inappropriate. And yeah, there are moments of inappropriateness, but there's a lot of moments of appropriate touching, you know. There's even experiments that have been done, and I don't know if this is in correlation with the topic that I'm currently touching on, but like there was a baby monkey in a lab, and they put a towel and they put like a source of food next to it, and they observed like what was more essential for the baby monkey, like the food source or the source of comfort. And the baby monkey went to the source of comfort like 8 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? Like the source of comfort was so much more like essential to its well-being than a food source, you know. So in our society, we're taught to like, you know, work to buy all these things and to consume and consume and consume, but then the very human the human component of just touch is really lacking. And then we wonder like what's going on, what's going wrong, and why are we so disconnected. We're disconnected because of how like the social construct is made, and how we are like forced to, you know, abide by these mental and social constructs, you know. But yeah, like in a previous video, I even said that I helped a couple of customers that I had in the past. Like I helped to diffuse them by giving them hugs. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're having a horrible day, and you know, I was the lucky recipient to like be the diffuser, and they took a lot of their anger and rage and frustration out on me, and I just kind of sat there and I proactively listened to them, and I told them I understood, and then I said, hey, do you need a hug? And you know, they automatically flew their arms up, and I hugged them, and they felt way better afterwards. And they're like, you know what, thank you so much, I just needed someone to listen to me, I've been having a bad day, and thank you. So I mean, it's really important, and we've made it so that we're uncomfortable with that kind of communication, but it's so essential, so essential. And if you think about like a lot of healers, like I don't know if you guys see healers, or you're into like homeopathic like remedies or healing, but a lot of healers use hands-on. So like when I was taking Reiki, it was hands-on healing, you know what I mean? When I see my acupuncturist or a chiropractor or a kinesiologist, there's a lot of touching involved, you know what I mean, to help you to adjust. So I mean, just some like food for thought. Yeah, I know it's a strange topic, but I just felt the need to express it. If you learned something cool, if you didn't, that's cool too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.